This podcast is brought to you by Podcast Nation.
We are so excited for you to dive into this episode with Lauren Roxburgh, learning all about fascia. Make sure you listen until the end, where we are going to be talking about a giveaway we're doing with Lauren. Enjoy the episode and stay tuned until the end. Welcome to Nirvana Sisters podcast, where we take the intimidation out of well-being and beauty to help you achieve your highest state, your nirvana. We are sisters-in-law and your hosts. I'm Amy Sherman.
And I'm Katie Chandler. So let's get into some real conversation.
Welcome back to the show, Nirvana Sisters family. It's Amy and Katie, and we are here with Lauren Roxburgh, who is dubbed the Body Whisperer. She is a world-renowned, board-certified structural integration bodywork practitioner. You've probably seen her on Instagram doing all of her amazing fascia workouts, which we're here to hear all about. She is a Pilates pro and author and educator specializing in fascia health and mind-body alignment. Lo is the co-founder of Aligned Life Studio, which is a virtual platform that offers a new paradigm in health and fitness, which we're super excited to hear about. And she has a unique focus on fascia wellness, designed to help people align and strengthen their bodies, shed physical and emotional weight while enhancing resilience and confidence. So welcome to the show, Lauren. We're so excited to talk to you.
Oh my gosh, you guys, Amy and Katie, thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to do this kind of thing. So I'm excited to dive in.
Us too. Before we start off, we just want to do a Nirvana moment, Nirvana of the week, and talk about something that brought us joy this week. So I'll kick it to Katie to talk about your Nirvana this week.
All right. Thanks, Amy. Well, yes, Lauren, we're so excited to talk to you. We have so many great questions for you. But before we do, I think my Nirvana, I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to share this because it's personal and it's probably a little too early to share it. But I thought it was a really special moment. So I'm going back to work as a model, which I once was many years ago. And I signed with my agency the other day. So that was exciting. That was a fun moment. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's super exciting. You scared me for a second when you said I haven't told anyone. I thought you were going to say you're pregnant or something.
I thought you were going to say that. That's so exciting though. Wow.
That's so funny. Thank you. And the reason why I'm like so awesome, kind of keeping it close to the chest is because like, who knows how it's going to pan out. We'll see if the work starts rolling in, but I'm going to go back and give it a go. It's a science experiment. It'll be fun.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
What about you, Amy? So,
so I have two boys, Lauren, and my younger son just turned 13 and he had his bar mitzvah this past weekend. So it was an incredible weekend with family and friends. He did so good. I was so proud of him. It's so hard, I think, to get up there and like read through, read the Torah and talk about what your bar mitzvah means to you. It's just, it's a big challenge. And I think it's really given him a lot of confidence to get through it. And just, he did such a great job and we had such a fun party for him. And just, it was just really, really special. And then we're taking him to Israel as a part 2, which Katie's joining us. We're doing a big family trip in a couple weeks. So future Nirvana. But so it was just a really fun time and a wonderful, amazing weekend. So
oh my God.
Big one this week.
That's a big one. That's a transition in life. That's beautiful.
Big one. Yeah.
What about you, Lauren?
Okay.
Do you have a Nirvana?
Mine would be, it's actually that we're, living in the South Island of New Zealand and spring has sprung and it is just absolutely stunning here. The sun is shining. The grass is green. The flowers are blooming. We planted our veggie garden. And so it's starting to really blossom. Like we can already eat from the garden. And to me, that's Nirvana at its greatest. Life force energy, connecting with Mother Nature and being present and watching the growth happen every day and putting love into it and doing my sound bowls over it and, watching the sun just open it up. So it's really beautiful to see nature in action for me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. We should say Lauren is coming to us all the way from New Zealand, and she is in the coolest space right now. What did you call it? What did you say this space was before? You have a name for it?
This is a geodesic dome. It's my healing dome where I do all of my programming, record all my videos and webinars and podcasts. So it's a great little sanctuary for me, away from the noise of like home and kids and all of that. So it's my little escape hatch.
Yeah, it
That's
looks like
so
it.
cool. Is it like near your house, or is it somewhere you go?
So it's we're on about an acre of land. And so it's I don't know, maybe about a 20 step from our deck to the
Oh my gosh.
garden. And I can see the lake and the mountains and everything. So
Oh
it's,
my
Wow.
God.
it's very
Amazing.
fantastic. It's pretty awesome. I didn't ever think we'd be living here, but we're making the most of it. So
Yeah, it's beautiful. For our listeners, we'll show some pictures of Lauren's amazing, beautiful space, your Aligned Life mini studio over there.
exactly.
All right, so let's get
Okay,
right into
so,
it. We have so
yeah.
many questions to ask. And Lauren, I know you cover so many amazing things in regards to health and wellness and alignment and balance. But we are super interested in your very interesting perspective, and like it's nothing I've ever really heard of before. It's like a very specialized thing, and that's fascia. And I would love for you to just help us better understand, help our listeners. Some of our listeners have probably never even heard the word. What is fascia? Why is it important? Why should we be taking care of it? And why do you specialize in it?
Great question. So it's really an interesting one. I never really thought I would just, stumble upon this system of the body. But when it was about in 2008, I was going through a really tough time in my life, and I discovered the work of Ida Rolf, which is called structural integration. And it's the thing that I'm board certified in. And essentially what it is Ida Rolf discovered fascia in the 1960s. I mean, the ancient wisdoms like Ayurveda and Chinese medicine have known about it for ages, but it was the first time kind of Western medicine was acknowledging the system in the body. And she was actually, in the 1960s, Ida Rolf was a rocket scientist studying the human body and gravity. And she was really curious, and she studied osteopathy. She looked into all the ancient wisdoms and yoga and all kinds of different like Reiki and healing modalities. And she decided to create a systematic approach to bring the body into better structural alignment. So her whole idea was that when your body is functioning well and relating to gravity well, then the healing energy within you will just basically pulse through you and kind of fix and cure everything. So I found it in 2009, and I started getting really curious about it. I had a session myself with my teacher, and I just got off the table, and I felt like I had had 10 years of talk therapy and 10 years of physical therapy in one 90-minute session. So I was got to learn this. I was going through so much. I was going through a divorce from my ex-husband. My mother was very sick with cancer. I was going through a traumatic thing in my work life. I was being embezzled. All of these things were happening. I call it my perfect storm. But I found this work, and I did the work, and I signed up, and I did the 2-year program, and it just I found my purpose. So I realized that when I was younger in high school, I was never really that great at school, like writing and all of those things and math. But what I've figured out is that I had something else called kinesthetic intelligence. And so that means basically that you're really good at feeling through your hands, or feeling through your heart, or feeling on all of those levels. And so what's exciting to me about fascia is that it is now being called the sixth sense. So if you think about the nose is to smelling, the ears are to hearing, the skin is to touch, the tongue is to taste, the eyes are to sight, the fascia is to feeling. And so I stumbled upon this amazing system in the body, and I realized that it was my way of really learning about the body through learning about the anatomy, learning about energy, learning about structural imbalances when people have, issues within the body, like compensations, postural problems, trauma, tension, all these things that layer up into the body. They create this buildup within the fascial system. So it's really an interesting question because it's quite a large answer, and it's sort of very comprehensive. So I had to kind of do the work myself, go through my own, turning my own pain into purpose. And then realizing that this was actually my gift. And I found my gift through going through the mud, like the lotus flower rising through the mud. And so now I feel super lucky and blessed to be able to share this with more and more people on the planet, because now especially we've had so much more trauma, collective trauma in our world. And every human on the planet's had some sort of extreme trauma in the last few years, with all of the grief of everything we've felt from the world, and also all the transitions and transformations we've all had to go through. So right now, there's never been a better time to get to know your fascia, which is considered the sensory organ. So as we know, we think of when we can feel, feeling is healing. So feeling is the beginning to creating the shift within, which helps create the shift on the planet. So it's a really powerful part of the body that science in the last few years has just recently had the chance to use new technology, new cameras to see fascia in a living body. So for years, we always thought, oh yeah, fascia, it's this scaffolding, it's holding you up in gravity. Some people would call it the organ of shape and form. It's this webbing, structure holding you up. It's, think of it like, the white part on chicken. So that's like the fascia. But what we didn't realize until the last few years is that it's not just holding us up, it's actually enabling cell communication. It's touching every single cell of your entire body. It's like a living tapestry intertwining every system of the body, all 12 systems. So the lymphatic system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the organs, all of it. It's just absolutely incredible. So it's so exciting to me. And even when you're looking at it in the spiritual world, it's also the way consciousness is transmitted through us. So it's how we move energy. So it's how the brain talks to the gut, the heart talks to the brain, is through the fascia, the connective tissue. And what it's made out of is collagen and elastin. And it also has a water shell around it. And the water is what creates the electricity in the body. So how cool is that?
That's
Fascia
wild.
holds us like a cytoskeleton, like a soft skeleton, but it also transmits energy and information. It's the biological fabric that keeps us elastic, but also helps the energy and the information and the nutrients pulse through us. So cool.
I never
Very
knew
cool.
that it was that complex. I always, of course, I have no idea, but I always just thought it was something that was related to your muscles, and it was that simple.
That's what I thought.
So does it course through your muscles?
No, that's great. Actually, this is what I always thought too, and this is how I wrote about it for years, because I didn't know the next, kind of evolution of what we're able to see now under the microscope and through science and case studies. So I always thought like, oh yeah, it's superficial fascia. So it lives right underneath your skin and it wraps around your muscles individually and also wraps around the joints. But there's what we're realizing now, and what we've found is that it does that, but it also weaves deeper into the deeper, they call it deep fascia. So there's superficial fascia that lives underneath the skin. That's the one we want to have plump and hydrated. That gives us that radiance and flow and juiciness on the skin. Because when we have good, healthy, collagen full fascia that's moving and juicing itself and staying hydrated, then our skin gets plumped up. But then we have it weaving through. It's inside the lining of our guts. It's also around each individual organ, the heart, the lungs, the bladder, the kidneys, the adrenals. It's everywhere. And it's even in the scalp and the face. So it wraps around our whole body as like a kind of a saran wrapping under the skin. Some people call it the second skin, but also goes deeper into that kind of weaving that tapestry through the entire body, touching every cell and every system. It's fascinating.
So it is fascinating. And I'm sure there could be like a whole discussion about this. But to break it down for the listeners in terms of like what they can do at home, like do you go to get a treatment done or can you do it yourself with tools? Like how does one start? Like I want to start, I don't know what the word is, working out my fascia tomorrow. Like what do I do?
Where do we start? I know I always say, well, fascia is my love language, and it's constantly communicating with you. It's the organ of sense and feeling. So it's always talking to you. It's speaking to you through sensations. It's speaking to you through the pulse of your heart, the speed of your breath, butterflies in your belly, the weight of the world on the shoulders, pain, gut feelings, intuition, all of the sensations, maybe even like arousal, contraction, expansion. All of those things are messages from your fascia, from your sensory organ. And so how do we start working with it? We have to listen to it. So we need to not numb. We need to realize that pain is a message, reframing the relationship to pain as a way to understand our body, learn the language and master the language of our body. The language of our body, the secret language of our body is coming from our fascia. So when we do that, we have the opportunity to really heal and to transform on so many levels. So the things that I recommend, it's funny being here in New Zealand, I had these total epiphanies because I used to go and have the body work done that I was also learned. And coming here, there isn't anyone that does it because there's only 3,000 people in the world that are actually trained in this type of body work. So if you're in big cities, usually you can find someone. We're in a very small village. And I thought, well, okay, I guess I'm going to have to be my own body worker. So I've designed these self body work tools for people to like open their diaphragm, open their lower back, their QL, their feet, their jaw, the cranium, all the different areas. So I'm actually creating a whole program around this to do the self body work. But for people to get started, it's very easy. You lay on a foam roller, you're addressing your fascia right away. What I love about that is it's helping you drop into the parasympathetic state of the nervous system, which is about rest, digest, and heal. Everyone's talking about this right now. But when we get on the roller, we're addressing the fascial system, which is helping our body go into healing mode. So rolling, rebounding, breath work, going in an infrared sauna is phenomenal for your fascia. Going and doing earthing, getting natural sunlight in the morning is one of my big rituals. It's my 1 minute morning ritual. Get my coffee, walk out on the grass, stand on the grass barefoot or some kind of dirt barefoot, let the natural light come into my eyes and just fill me up with, my body with light, and actually thinking of the fascia, the webbing, the collagen network, and then the water that's wrapped around it. So the sun is coming in to kind of turn on the electricity in the fascia. So recharging your body battery, and then the earth energy is doing the same. So those are phenomenal. And then just getting up and doing they're called like whole body stretches. So moving your body in different directions of like multi-plane work. So twisting, inverting, walking, any kind of deep. I don't necessarily think of yoga as fascia opening. Of course it is addressing it, but we have a different way to do it where it's more like you're thinking of stretching all the way from your foot to the back of your head, because there's 12 planes of fascia. It turns out that those planes of fascia, so I'll give you an example of one. The back plane goes from the bottom of your feet up through the back of your legs, up through your back, and up to the top of your head. So that's the back line. It turns out that these fascia planes relate and correlate to the 12 acupuncture meridians. So we're addressing our meridians and our chi when we're doing stuff with the fascia. So thinking of the body not as spot treating it, but thinking of it more holistically and systematically. So if I do anything to my feet, I know I'm addressing my head and neck and jaw. And vice versa. So those kinds of things are very powerful ways. It's like looking at it with X-ray vision, and working your body in the different planes of movement, getting yourself upside down, doing inversions, any kind of twisting, even if it's just going for a walk and channeling your inner Giselle with more transverse motion, breath work, self body work, rolling. All of those things are phenomenal ways. Everything is in the Align Life Studio, where I put everything that I've learned. I just experiment things that have actually worked for me and my friends and my community and my clients. I put in the Align Life Studio, like for instance, using that squishy ball. I'm like, I have it. It's back there in the frame. but it's a squishy ball and you use it to roll your belly out and you roll your organs out. And that is addressing the vagus nerve. It's flushing the lymph in the belly and the gut. Then you have more access to your core when you're doing like stuff to actually strengthen. So my whole perspective of like fitness has evolved, because what I now realize is that it's not about doing a million reps or, spending an entire hour in the gym or in the studio. It's actually about how do you use your body throughout your day? It's like how we use our body throughout our day is how our body will be shaped. So if we're hunched over the whole time and we never kind of undo that, then we're going to be shaped like that. You see people walking down the street looking like that. That's the fascia gluing itself and becoming thick, dehydrated, and brittle. So it's fine if we need to hunch and be on our computers and text and all of that. That's cool. It's like, that's not going away, but we need to undo it on the daily and bring that juice back in and that hydration and that suppleness. So just like even turning on some music and doing some somatic dance or jumping around on the grass or the sand or the beach, getting fresh air, all of these things are addressing the fascia. And
I see the mini rebounder behind you, so I'm assuming that's a good way to loosen things up.
So
absolutely,
movement.
it's one of the things. Movement medicine.
Movement medicine.
It's funny that you're saying this. My older son, who's 15, has been having back pain for like all year. He wrestles, and we went to like an orthopedic guy, and he was like, "Yeah, you need some physical therapy to stretch out those areas." And he did it, but then he wasn't doing it at home. Of course, like he's, a teenager, he's not like doing his stretches, but we just went back last week because his back still hurts. They did an x-ray. Everything's fine. Thank God. But he's like, your hamstrings are so tight. You need to do these stretches. And I'm sure these stretches address the fascia and everything else, but he's like, you have to do these stretches like twice a day to loosen up your hamstrings, which is why your back is sore.
Absolutely.
So
that sounds
it
just
was
like my husband.
Great for him to hear that from somebody. I've been telling him that, but it was good for him to hear that from somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's all connected.
It really is.
Why I was just going to ask, why is it so painful when I get on the foam roller and I do my legs? Like, is it something that if the more I do it, the easier it gets?
Yes. So it usually has to do with the firmness of the roller as well. I prefer a more softer, like it's a medium density roller, because you can use it to work out and do the Pilates moves and use it for rolling. But what we're now finding is a lot more of the research in Germany and through the really through the anatomy world is that we shouldn't be doing aggressive, hard rolling, because it's especially because what we're doing when we're rolling is addressing the superficial fascia. So we want to make sure that we're not digging into the bone, but we're actually trying to get into that matrix that lays underneath the skin and above the muscle. So great question. The more you do it, the less it hurts, 100%. So start and just go really slow. Use your breath. You can also warm up. Sometimes I recommend warming up with like dry brushing to get the lymph going before you do your rolling, and then finishing with a 5 or 10 minute bounce on the rebounder to really flush. So your dry brushing gets the lymph going, the rolling gets the fascial matrix clearing, kind of like flushing the congestion or the scar tissue or what was I calling it the other day? The grizzle in the tissue. And then you're bouncing, which will help your body again flush everything out, like really get that lymph going, and then your body will flush whatever has been broken down from the toxins in the tissues as well. Because a lot of times we don't realize it, but within that scar tissue is a pool of congestion or toxic buildup. So when we flush that through, then your body has to eliminate it. So you want to support it through that. And I recommend also doing the sauna too, as part of that sequence. If people are it sounds like a lot. And if you don't have a sauna, although the higher dose sauna blankets are pretty amazing now and making it more accessible for people and more affordable. My protocol with our community is dry brush, foam roll, bounce, and then finish with a sweat. And it sounds like a lot. You only need to do each of them for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you've got this amazing holistic healing protocol.
I want to do that tonight. That sounds amazing.
You do it every day?
I do. I really do. And I'm a big fan of 80-20 rule, and I'm all about detox to retox. I'm really about balance. I don't like to over drink or anything, but I do have a glass of wine in the evening and have my coffee in the morning, and then I do that. And I feel so clear and so vibrant and so kind of like it takes this film away. Like it flushes the clutter of the mind, and it flushes the clutter of the body. It's like an inner exfoliation, if you want to think about it like that. Like we always exfoliate our face and we floss our teeth. We're doing that to our cells and our tissues from the inside out. That's what our bodies need more than ever. Speaking of the immune system, that's another system that's addressed. Whenever we work with our fascia, we're boosting our immunity because we're getting the white blood cells pumping through our body better. So phenomenal for preventing getting sick.
I need to get some of your tools because I have like the foam roller from hell, and I've just started dry brushing daily. I'm
firm.
It's too firm. I need to get some of this. Lauren, for the listener, she has an entire array of her own tools that she sells, and I also saw that you are rolling out your fascia with a small ball as well, not just the large foam rollers. So there's a variety of tools that people can use, right?
Yeah. And the reason I did that, I originally came out with my first book, Taller, Slimmer, Younger, which was about the big 36-inch roller, because it was the one I was using with all my pro athletes and my celebrities. And then I was doing the body work with them and the workouts. And I realized like there's the deeper layers of the fascia as well. So the bigger roller is good for the superficial fascia. The smaller tools are better for the deeper fascia. Like I was saying earlier, you can get into the belly and really flush the gut out lymphatically, but also from a tissue perspective. And then the infinity roller, which is like two little nodules, kind of like two tennis balls in a sock, which is what, if you've ever been to physical therapy, they use that for like your shoulder blades or your feet. So I just thought, you know what, I was over the whole thing slipping away. So I created a tool. It's a little bit softer than tennis balls. And then you use that for your feet, for a lot of places where the muscles attach to the joints that you can't get to with the bigger roller. So that's why I have multiple tools based on the two books that I wrote. And one was about superficial and the other one was about going a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have those balls that I would like, if my back gets tight, I'll like put it in a sock and like rub it against the wall. But yeah, it goes all over the place. You can't like exactly get it, but it's very hard. Yeah. So speaking to your point about like, is something like that, those athletic ones, too hard?
This is
based on what you're seeing.
Question, and I'm happy you brought it up because with all the new research, it's quite important to be saying out loud right now that the aggression with the fascia is not where we're going. We do not need to be like shoving and, I won't use the word, but like we want to give the fascia love. We want to think of it like sending your body like these love notes through working with the fascia and tuning in and listening. Aggression with fascia will just build up more scar tissue in the long run. And it will also make your nervous system go into fight or flight, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do, which is why I think my method or philosophy is so much more of a feminine energy thing. That doesn't mean it's just for women. It means it's just more nurturing, more loving, more supportive. Those harder balls in the new science is saying, no, we do not want to be doing that. We want to go slow. We want to breathe. We want to feel like almost like a memory foam is kind of cradling the tissue and then wringing it out. You see a lot of the lymphatic stuff. It's quite light. So, we are working with the lymph, but then we're going a deeper layer as well with the fascia. So softer and more present, really feeling into it and listening and figuring out where the blockages are. So it's not about getting on a roller, doing body rolling. Fascia work is not about like rushing through anything. It's about really tuning inwards and feeling again.
It's really...
And then on your website, do you have sort of like, I think you were saying this, like sessions on if I wanted to do a 10-minute whatever in the morning to like loosen out just the whole body? Like, do you have things like that?
Got like the rise and shine on the roller. We've got all kinds like 7-minute fascia flows now, because we're finding there was that New York Times article based on a lot of great research that people were getting insane benefits from working out for like 7 minutes a day. I don't remember something about Mary when they were like 7-minute abs or seconds. I'm like, that reminded me.
Right.
I love that movie. I love her. But anyway, so it's just one of those things where we realize like also people only have so much time. So my thing is now not overwhelm people with like an hour of content at one time. Put it in the morning. If you can do one 7-minute thing in the morning, and then do like a 5-minute thing before bed, you will sleep better and deeper. You'll go into rest and digest and heal more efficiently. You can tap into that vagus nerve and those kinds of things. So spending and also thinking of your body throughout the day, listening to the sensations. And remember, you take 26,000 breaths a day. It's like every breath you take is an opportunity to create shift or release or metabolize stress better as well. And every step we take 10,000 steps a day without even going for like a long walk. Every step we take is an opportunity to kind of move and strengthen your body. I think people forget also that just sitting burns calories. Moving throughout your day, your body is working really hard. You don't have to go and like burn 600 calories on the treadmill. That's an old belief system that actually doesn't make sense. So how can we make our bodies more efficient? How can we support all of our systems, metabolism, digestion, endocrine system, the hormones? Why not? This fascia is touching all of those systems. So use it for enhancing every part of you.
It's really revolutionizing a way of self-care, I feel like, because you're saying that for so many years, it's been all about like work harder, push through, you have to sweat, you have to do these massive workouts to get the type of body that you want. And what you're saying is if you slow everything down and you do it in a nurturing way and you're taking care of your body and you're releasing the stress that we all put on ourselves, that things will start to hopefully potentially work in which they should, right? And heal themselves, which will give us results.
That's it. Yeah, you're rebooting, you're resetting. Everyone has the same musculature underneath all of the layers of stress and armor and fear and unworthiness. We all have it under there. So a lot of times we put excess weight on as padding to protect us from the outside world, whether that's from trauma, toxins, tension, fears, whatever it is. So if we can realize that all of those messages are there to help us learn and grow and evolve, the weight, whether it's physical or emotional weight, will actually melt away. And I know it sounds like magic, but when you work with the fascia, people realize it's not the fat, it's the fascia. It's the weakened connective tissue and it's the congestion that happens that builds up the kind of areas that we end up holding extra weight or even thickness or density in that armor. It's really powerful. It is a whole different, it's a new paradigm shift.
It sounds like it. It's very exciting. Now, I would be remiss, and I think some of our listeners wouldn't be too pleased if we didn't ask about cellulite, because I know we have all, anytime I've heard of fascia, I've thought that it had to do with rolling that out. So I don't know if that is true or not, or what's up with that.
You know what? I love this question too. And there's quite a bit of information out in the world now about fascia and fascia blasting for cellulite. And thing is, every woman is going to have some sort of cellulite. And maybe there's like 2% of the world of women that don't naturally. And that's probably has to do with hormones or genetics. So we all are going to have a version of it. But what it is it's essentially weakened connective tissue. So that means that the collagen has broken down, the elastin has broken down. So the best things we can do to regenerate our connective tissue and, reduce cellulite are getting the lymphatic system going. So flushing the toxins through, but also strengthening the actual webbing of the tissue. So creating more of that collagen. That's why I created a whole thing called Fascia Foods. We have recipes on this. There's specific things like bone broth and vitamin C, all kinds of, you need zinc and copper, vitamin C, like certain minerals, magnesium that will help regenerate and strengthen the collagen. So also supplementing with collagen, if you have the right collagen, can help as well. But dry brushing, the same sequence that I recommended as well, the sweating, getting that moving. But also you can do something called body gua sha, which is a little bit different than the way I see fascia blasting, which I know, the Kardashians got fascia blasting on the map, which is good because that puts fascia in the mainstream media, which I'm happy about. But I feel like, again, it's more about using a tool to be more soothing and smoothing and loving rather than blasting. So I recommend using a body gua sha tool. There's one that I'm actually coming out with. It's like a mushroom. I call it combing out the tangles of your tissues. So you do that after the shower with the body oil. I created this called the body elixir. And so you put the oil on after you're hot, and then you scrub yourself, or you basically comb out the tangles of your tissues. That is phenomenal for even crepey skin. It can really help reduce crepey skin like that we start to see in the arms as we get older, around the hips and inner thighs and the stomach, especially after having babies and your tissue has, expanded so much, or C-sections where you have scar tissue. All of those things are really helpful in helping regenerate the collagen. So whenever we're working with the fascia, I think it's just really important to think of like, don't go against it, but go with it. And it's similar to dry brushing. You want to go in the direction of your heart. You may have certain areas where you take that body gua sha and you scrub a little bit, but then you're always flushing it toward the heart to flush, the toxins out and regenerate the tissue. But the other really important piece for cellulite is obviously hydration and building musculature and tone. And that's where my method is a little different than other foam rolling methods out there, because we do a lot of this opening and creating the space and the hydration, but we're also building strength from my Pilates background. So we're building that sustainable, elongated, balanced strength. That's what gives you that beautiful, graceful physique that everybody loves.
I love Pilates.
So is the gua sha and the dry brush, do they serve similar purposes, or is the dry brush more like external and the gua sha gets a little bit deeper?
You got it. You nailed it. Yeah. So the dry brush you want to do when you're dry before you shower. And then you feel warm, and you can do some stretches in the shower and open things up. And then you slather yourself with this amazing oil that's super clean and has an olive oil base, has arnica in it, and hemp seed oil, all of these in beautiful scent. And then you kind of can do affirmations while you do the body gua sha. So you're really making it a ritual. It only takes like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, we're all so busy, but if I can find like 2 or 3 minutes throughout the day, these little pockets or windows, then at the end of the day, I've done an hour, because I've done like 2 minutes here and 5 minutes there and a little bit of breath work and maybe a little sweat. Then I've actually done accumulation of an hour, but it didn't feel like it. And I've enjoyed every moment of it too.
Yeah, that's
right. And do you think, is it better to do the foam roll part in the morning or at night, or does it not matter?
I mean, I prefer, if you have to choose, doing it in the morning, because when you get on the roller, you're turning on something called proprioception. And that's awakening your body's relationship to the environment, to gravity, to balance, all of those things. So if you have that on for the rest of your day, you're going to also be able to be strengthening your muscles just throughout your day in a better way. So people ask a lot, when should I roll? Before I work out, or should I do it after? You always want to roll it out before you work it out, because you're bringing in the hydration, the blood circulation, the awareness, the proprioception. So all of those things are very helpful, not just in your workout, but in your life. So when you're waking up things and rolling out, you can do it before you go for a hike or a run. You will have more flexibility, more range of motion. You'll prevent injuries. It's a beautiful way to start the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to, I had a trainer for a few years, and we always foam rolled in the beginning for like 5-10 minutes, and it made a huge difference. And she introduced me to those ball things, and she had this other thing. It was sort of like, I don't know, it was like the same material as the small balls, but it was like a stick with 2 kind of wheels at the end. And I would do my feet on that. And I'd never done anything like that before. It was crazy, because my body would like shift. She'd be like, oh, your right shoulder's higher. And then she would like help me do it on my feet. And then I all of a sudden would be like, my feet felt flatter to the ground. It was amazing.
So that's what you're feeling is that's the sensory organ. So whenever people do one side of the body and then you get them to walk around and feel the difference, they're like, whoa, I feel lighter. You are feeling lighter, because you've actually like literally like scrubbed away whatever was in the way. So your legs feel lighter. Like, let's say you're going to go do Pilates and you're like, oh, my hamstrings are really tight. I'm going to try to do my, inverted core work or whatever, or stomach series in Pilates. If your tissue is really tight, like you were saying, your son, his tissue is really tight, his legs will actually feel heavier. So by freeing up density and releasing the tension in the tissue, but also in the joints, and really lubricating yourself and feeling that sense of lightness, you'll be able to hold your legs up more efficiently. You won't have to use your lower back or your hip flexors. You'll actually be using your core. So it makes your body way more functionally, like biomechanically, more efficient as well. That's why the athletes love it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was in a really good cadence with it, and I got away from it, and every time I foam roll, I always feel better. So you remind me, I gotta get back into it every time I work out because it really does make a huge difference.
I know I need to add it into my routine.
More benefits from whatever you're going to do next by using the roller,
That's motivational. So yeah, that's very motivating. Well, before we get into our wrap session with you, I would love to hear, let's hear about your community and the Align Life Studios and everything that you have created, where listeners can find you, most importantly.
Yeah. So for the last few years, I guess it was in 2020 when it really took off, when everyone had to stay home, for COVID. We had already ramped up and started the membership program. And so my commitment to the community is to basically go, and it's like I'm possessed by learning about fascia and and body alignment and building graceful strength. And so it's my mission. And it's so fun. I get to serve with joy and love. It's so great. So I go out and I learn and I study and I research and I bring it into the studio, and we film, multiple times a year, depending on how inspired I'm feeling. And then I put everything that I love and that really works into the Align Life Studio membership community. And every month we give the community a new drop, we call it, with new flows and sequences. And so we actually have bar in there now. We have yoga. These are all, with the through line of fascia. All the people that we brought in have the education background and have the fascia world in there as well. And then we also have Fascia Foods, the meal plans and meal guides. It's a whole web app, which we'll be ramping up a lot more, because people are always like, well, okay, I'll do the fascia flows workouts, but how do I eat to support that? So we have all the different tools that you see behind me here, the rollers and the rebounder and the fascia flows just on the mat too. And so I continue to keep putting stuff in there. And then we also have our free community called the Aligned Life Collective. And that's where I go in and I do webinars. So I like to say that that's where I go and educate and inspire. It's kind of like our Facebook, but off of it's not on Facebook. It's like, how people have Facebook groups. We've actually decided to get away from Facebook because of all the drama. We wanted to do something where it's more focused. You're not getting ads sent to you. So it's very specific. Anyone can join there. It's just called the alignlifecollective.com. And then the Align Life Studio is sort of my Netflix of wellness. It's where we put all of these great flows and sequences, and we're continuing to evolve and expand it. And I'm coming out with my certification next year as well.
Wow.
Which is very exciting. I think we're going
to. That is exciting.
Secret. And it's going to be a very basic certification, so that people don't necessarily need to teach it, but if they want to learn and go deeper and really embody this work at a deeper level, they'll learn about the emotional components and the physical components. And it's going to be very exciting. So I'm excited for that.
That's great.
And we can't forget about your Instagram, because I'm always looking at your Instagram. It's so inspiring and relaxing. And I see some of the exercises you do. So that's also a good resource for people to check out.
Yes. I've actually enjoyed that one. I know in the beginning I was like, oh, Instagram, it feels so intimidating. And now I'm actually loving it. So it's fun. It's a fun process.
That's nice. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all just very
to get
exciting.
Those bite-sized pieces of fascia work we can all get during the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. We're definitely going to be checking that out. And I love that there's a whole, it sounds like library of content. So you can do the fascia work, but then you can do flows that are aligned to that. So you feel like it's all kind of connected, which is nice.
And you can pick things like if you need lower back love, or, you're having issues with your feet, or you want to connect to your deeper core, or you're bloating, or you're feeling like your gut is off or whatever. There's so many different ways to target different areas of the body, but then you can do total body ones as well. So I want to share with your community also that we're going to give you guys a code so that you guys can join and get 30% off. So we'll be sharing that soon.
That's amazing. That's so generous. Thank you.
Oh, good. That's so exciting. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think our listeners will love that and report back on all the things they're learning about fascia.
As will I.
How good they feel.
Yeah.
Yes. All of us will be. Okay. So let's get into our wrap session. So what is your favorite wellness or beauty hack besides fascia work?
Oh, I have been loving the using red light therapy for the face. So those LED masks, and there's a little wand that I've been using as well called the Solar Wave. And I love it in the morning after, you sleep on your face and you're all squished and you have those sleep lines, and you take that red light and you can kind of do fascia work with it, but also the red light. The red light stimulates the collagen, and it feels so good, and it kind of wakes you up for the day. And I also think it really helps with the beauty aspect too.
Nice.
For the mask, do you have a good recommendation? I've been looking at those, and there's so many of them.
I did a ton of research, and I found the Dr. Grossman one.
Yeah.
3 minutes. And it has the
Oh, wow.
and then the red and the blue light that you can combine together. So the red light's collagen, the blue light's for like antibacterial or breakouts. It's great for the teenagers if they're getting breakouts. But it's 3 minutes. So anyone can do this. Is what I was saying.
And it's a mask, so you could actually walk around. You could foam roll while you're wearing your mask.
You can do the dishes, you can do laundry, you can do your texts. It's great.
But, all right, the next one we call it our 5-minute flow. You just got out of the shower and dried off, and Uber has pinged you. They're 5 minutes away. What are you going to do to pull together and get in that Uber on time? Your holy grails, your go-tos.
Ooh, okay. Definitely, I probably wouldn't have time to do my body wash in 5 minutes. So it would probably be mostly focused on the face. So I would put my vitamin C serum on because I'm obsessed with the vitamin C first. Then I do hyaluronic acid next. And then I do face oil, which I use my body elixir as my face oil. And so concealer that has, hyaluronic acid in it, some cheeks and lips and mascara and brow. And then I'm out.
Good routine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Streamlined. Okay. And how do you maintain your daily nirvana?
I think all the things I've shared with you guys I think the big one is also perspective. So really shifting perspective on everything that's happening instead of to us, for us. So it's there to go through it, to learn from it, to realize that even if it's collectively or, personally or in our family, there's always a reason, and sort of embracing that. And then I think getting better at metabolizing the stress that comes from that experience too. So working with your fascia is the way personally for me. And because I'm a kinesthetic learner and a feeler, that's how I move through things and let them go. So with compassion, with love.
That's really beautifully said. We always wrap with a mantra or an affirmation, and there's one that I saw all over your Instagram page and on your site that, and I'm going to butcher it, so I'm hoping you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, it's not just about feeling better; it's about getting better at feeling. It's not about feeling better; it's about getting better at feeling. Yes. So that one is on a couple times. You're right. So it's really about not only trying to just feel your best all the time, but just feel all of it. Feel the pain, feel the discomfort, because those are messages to create a shift or a change, and listening and tuning in. And the other affirmation though is every little cell in my body is well. I use that one with my kids a lot too.
I like that. That's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Your kids do fascia work?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Always doing like the ear pulls with them, or like the cranial stuff or the feet stuff. They love it. It's cute.
That's great.
That's adorable.
To learn how to do it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This was such an invigorating conversation. I'm getting very motivated to get back into the routine. So
Same.
This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. And I look forward to doing more in the future.
Happy holidays, Nirvana Sisters family. So I hope you enjoyed that episode with Lauren, all about the fascia, and you can incorporate some new routines. As we mentioned, we have an exciting giveaway with Lauren. We are going to be giving away 3 annual memberships to the Align Life Studio, as well as a travel roller. All you need to do is follow Lauren Roxburgh on Instagram, follow Nirvana Sisters at Instagram, and comment on our last post. You can tell us what you liked about the episode. You could put an emoji, anything really, but that will enter you into our giveaway. We are so excited for you to enjoy the Align Life. Happy holidays. Thanks for listening to Nirvana Sisters. For more information on this episode, check out the show notes, please subscribe, and leave us a review. Also, find us on Instagram at Nirvana Sisters. If you loved what you just listened to or know someone that would, please share it and tag us. Tune in next week for a fresh new episode of Nirvana Sisters. We'll continue to watch out for all things wellness so you don't have to. Bye.